After the show, I'm going to be standing over here at the merch table. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to shake your hand. But most importantly, I would like to personally thank y'all for coming out on a Saturday evening to support live, original, independent music here in Nashville, Tennessee. And as always, thanks to the Bluebird for having me back. There's not many places left in this country that support songs above everything else, and this is definitely one of them, so it is an absolute honor every time I step on this stage. So thank y'all for having me back. I'm going to leave y'all with the answer to the hardest question you can ask a musician. What's your favorite song you've ever written? That's a loaded question. Obviously, much like children, we have a favorite. Every parent has a favorite child. I have a favorite song. There's a lot of different parameters, though. I have favorite songs based on lyrics. I have favorite songs with the melodies. I have favorite songs that the band plays, favorite songs that I play acoustic. And yes, sir, they do have favorite kids. I know for a fact my mother loved me more than she loved my brother. I know that my dad loves my brother more than me. They never said it, because when you say it out loud, it becomes true. But if you just keep it to yourself and you use actions to speak, you get by with it. But I know for a fact if the end of the world happened and my dad's sitting on the edge of a cliff and it's me and my brother, one arm apiece, my dad's gonna look me deep in my eyes and say, son, you've already spent your life telling your story. Your brother hasn't. He needs a chance to tell his story. He'll slowly let go, and I'll be falling back, being like, I told the people in Nashville this was true. I didn't want to believe it because you didn't say it until now, but God! That's a little bit too much, I think. I don't have any complexes or anything. But I realized I needed to find an answer to that song, because when an interview person from a magazine asks you that song, you can't just say, hey, that's a stupid question, next one. Because it turns out they won't call you when your next record comes out. So you got to learn how to answer those dumb questions. And so I had to figure out an easy way to explain why this is my favorite song, and I think I've done it. I picked my favorite song based off the song that changed my life the most. Not my favorite song lyrically or melody or band or me, but the song that changed my life. And that was hard because there's 11 songs on the record that changed my life. That was the easiest answer in the world. The record that changed my life was 2012's Burn, Flicker, Die. That record changed my life. It was like a light switch got flipped. Up until 2012, we were a struggling band. No one would come and see us. And then the light switch flipped, and then we were selling out shows around the country. It was the craziest phenomenon ever. It helps when Jason Isbell produces the record. I've learned that. And you guys are cheering. We're probably talking about two different fucking people. You're thinking of international folk hero Jason Isbell. I'm talking about the drunk guy that got kicked out of the drive-by truck. Those are two very different people. They look alike and they write pretty songs, but they are definitely different people. I love both of them, but they are different fucking people. That record changed everything for me. So if somebody asks me what record changed your life, it's Burn, Flicker, Die. And I'm not exaggerating. That record came out, and the minute it came out, shows started selling out. People started calling and wanting to talk about the record, and that never happened to us. Because that record was supposed to be our last record. We were on tour with Jason in 2011, and we were playing these songs every night. And he said, hey, are those on a record? And we're like, no. He said, when are you recording? And we're like, we're not. This is actually, we're breaking up after this tour. Because we tried. 7 years in, we were hustling. We were playing 300 shows a year at that point. Not kidding. 306, 307, and 304. That was 11, 12, and 13. And we couldn't get anything going. Couldn't get anybody to listen to our music. Nobody would come and see us. There was 15 or 20 people every night that came and saw us, but it wasn't enough to pay 6 guys a living wage. I was homeless for 3 years. I lived in a storage unit on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to Ample Storage. Saved my ass. And I wasn't like living, don't feel bad for me, I wasn't living in squalor. I had a climate controlled unit. I wasn't just bumming it with just the temperature outside. They kept it in a steady, kind of cold sometimes. But we made that record because Jason was kind enough to say, hey, listen, I don't care about making money on this record. I just want you to come to Muscle Shoals, Alabama and make the record. So we went down to Muscle Shoals and we recorded this record, and it changed my life. And so that's the easy part. The hard part's picking a song off that record that changed my life. And so I thought about it, and I thought about it, and the one song that changed everything for me was the title track. It's called Burn Flicker Die.
Thank you, guys.
And the reason I picked that is because that's the very first song I sent to Jason when he asked for demos. About 2 weeks before we go into the studio, he said, hey, I need you to send me like an iPhone demo of the songs. And I said, why? He said, because if it sucks, I'm probably not going to do the record. I was like, shit. So I quickly recorded one on my iPhone and I sent it to him. And before I could send him the second song, he sends me a text message back and says, as long as everything else sounds like this, we got a record. I was like, well, I'm not fucking sending him another song. I just imagine, like, man, that was one of the weak ones, man. I was like, I just want to see what you thought of that. And like everything else is so much better. And in reality, I'd only written about half the record. I had another half of the record to write in the next 2 months. But we made that record and everything changed. And so this is the song that changed my life. It's the song that took us from struggling regional musicians to national touring band. And I'm going to leave you with this one. Once again, my name is J Barham from American Aquarium. And thank y'all so much for spending your Saturday night with us. I appreciate it. Dollar bill prescriptions in the bathroom stall, red-headed women and alcohol. Say so, say it ain't last call. Double whiskey on the rocks and Adderall. Double whiskey on the rocks and Adderall. Oh, we're no different than neon lights. When you turn us on, we stay up all night. We do what we can, we put up a fight. Then we burn too long, we flicker and die. It's nights like these the drugs don't work. Now they just get in the way instead of picking me up. And I wish my addictions didn't mean so much, but we all can't be born with that kind of luck. You try but you won't fix what's wrong with me. Every night I'm my own worst enemy. And I find a way to quit when they bury me. 'Cause I can't turn down the drinks when they're free. I can't turn down the drinks when they're free. Oh, you're no different than the neon lights. When you turn us on, we stay up all night. We do what we can, we put up a fight. Then we burn too long, we flicker and die. Every girl in that bar looked like 1965, with her sailor tattoos and her drawn out eyes. Every now and then she still crosses my mind. And by every now and then I mean most of the time. By every now and then I mean all of the time. Oh, we're no different than the neon lights. We turn us on, we stay up all night. We do what we can, we put up a fight. And we burn too long, we flicker and die. 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 Thank y'all so much.